you, hopefully. I don't know what happened before. There's something not right with my internet connection, apparently. So I've switched over. I've switched over to my. Oh, I may have to start. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. There was a problem with my internet on my phone, so I switched over to my neighbour's internet, who have very graciously allowed me to hop on even when I need to. And I don't use that very often, but times like tonight, when having got all the hardware sorted out at last. So the technical gremlin today was brought to you courtesy of my Wi-Fi. Anyway, so I'm only 24 hours late. Thanks for thanks for turning up today. Just last night, just had to go home and just put my feet up. I was thinking actually, it's just I can't. We're nearly into April already. We're a quarter of the way into the Squeak Show project, and I tell you, if you ever want the time to go past as quickly as possible, do something like this. Do a project which lasts a year and where you have to do something every month and you have to plan ahead well in advance. Yeah, the time just flies by so quickly. Anyway, I'm hoping. Oh, I don't know where I've gone. I'm looking at my screen. Hopefully, it can see me. Is anybody on the call? Or am I just chatting away to myself as per usual? Happy to do that. I've not spoken to very many people today. Just Enrique in the morning, and then Haley popped in to see me with some homemade brownies. Yum. And I've been packing orders all day. This is actually it's the first quarter of the first three Squeak Show mice. These are all moving out, shipping out to pastures new, and are going to be posted off probably on Friday at this rate. I don't know, there's about 30 or 40 parcels to do, and normally not a problem, but this time, because virtually every parcel has at least two, possibly three, sometimes more mice or other wee creatures in them, so each parcel takes at least quarter of an hour, 20 minutes to pack. And of course I write out all the little notes as well, and I want to try and make those as personal as possible. And I'm kind of, oh, what did I see that? And I'm going through emails and I'm checking this and I'm going back through the QA group. It's good fun. And actually what I was doing going back through the QA group, I went through the photos. Now it's worth doing this. These are the photos which people have been posting in the group, and I've been putting some in too, but mostly what's so much fun is just to see how much joy there is in the group. There's a lot of otters as well, and thanks to Melissa for those. But there's so much joy and laughter and fun and cuteness, and it's just lovely. It really is. Now, I have been chuntering away to myself now for 3 minutes. I'm not sure if anybody is actually with me. Might not be the case. I will keep going for another 5 minutes or so. If nobody is on the call, or if there's a problem with the feed, which is entirely possible. I mean, it's showing at the moment. It's showing that everything seems to be touch wood working okay. But I'll check on my phone and see whether there's an issue there as well. But it's just lovely to be able to have a good blether and see how you're doing. But it's quite hard not to be chatting to somebody. Yes, we've kind of missed that. So yes, let's see if I can. Oh yes. Oh, we have a few people. Ah, right. I am not getting any of the comments on my on the dashboard. That's why I am now seeing on my phone. Of course, it has to be on my phone. Everybody's comments. So I'm going to be looking over here and not at my computer. God, what happened to this? This was supposed to be the end of Technical Gremlins. This is not happening. It's so funny. It could only happen to me. Anyway, so let me see. We've got Jacqueline is on the call. Hello. We've got Lynn. Hello, Lynn. And we have Kirsty. Hello, Kirsty. And Alison in this country. Yay. And thank you so much for your email as well. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to reply, but I loved reading it. Thank you. Sarah Baldwin's here too. Sarah has very kindly taken over the overviewing of the creatures on the Move group. She's been handed over by Vicky, who has done sterling years of service, but time for somebody new. So thank you very much again for that, Sarah. And we have Pamela too. Pamela, you'll be getting the parcels coming out to you too this week. I've been having fun with resin, and my hands are very sticky as a result. And also Nicola Pierce as well. Nicola, lovely to have you on the call. This is so I'm going to see if I can bring my phone any closer where it kind of doesn't look as though I'm kind of going off to one side so quickly. I'll do my best to keep up with your comments, because that makes it a proper brew and a blether. A one-sided blether is a monologue, and that's not much fun. I mean, I could keep going, and I do often monologue, but it's lovely to actually see all the comments. So, thank you very much for joining me. Now, resin. This is epoxy resin. And I was experimenting, and I'm not sure that I want to experiment anymore with it. It's been interesting. Now, okay, this is a bit of a, off on a tangent, but I've been using, I've done some bubble bath creatures over the years, not very many, just a few here and there, and I was using a meltable resin that kind of firmed up. It looked a bit like jelly. It was a bit like, in fact, it was jelly, but just don't eat it. And that would mean that you could actually put in some bubbles, and it would hold the bubbles more or less. Sometimes they did degrade a bit over the years, but they pretty much held their own. But I just wanted to experiment. Their face cloths didn't like the bubbles, though, we discovered. It's yes, and it made the towels too thin. Anyway, so I thought I would try and replenish a few of the bathtubs with epoxy resin. So this is a crystal clear, dries really hard. You can embed things in it. But I needed to get the slow cure the depth of the baths. Because I think the fast cure ones are only up to 1 centimetre, I think, deep, and the baths were at least 3 or 4 centimetres deep. So, well, maybe 2 to 3, but more than 1, shall we say. So I thought, okay, I'll do the slow cure, and I did it yesterday afternoon. Actually, I'd mixed it, blended it, did all the stirring, did all 2-3 minutes, weighed it all properly, did all the measurements correctly, and then filled the bathtubs with the wee creatures in them. And I realised that I am an instant gratificationist. I don't like waiting. And I'm still waiting. They're nearly dry now. They have nearly cured, not dry. They have nearly cured now, but oh my word. I mean, I know it said 24 to 36 hours, but in my world, that's, that's about 10 mice worth, not just one bath full. So it's been interesting. Does anybody here work with epoxy resin or UV resin, or just resin, basically, whether it's making little jewelleries or, I know Demi here, she does brilliant. We've got some more people as well on the call. So actually, yes, Dawn. Hello, Dawn. Hi. Got the little, can't say anything about that. Let's just say I am having lots of fun working with different people on the Squeak Show, and I'm very grateful to everybody who is involved in whatever capacity. It's just so much fun. Anyway, back to the bubbles. So yes, so if anybody works with epoxy resin, I'm sure there are much easier ways for me to have done what I've done, but it's been a good experiment. And yes, if I can find an easier way of doing them, I think what I'd probably have to do, and I'm just making up as I go along, but don't you find it's just so much fun when you just try new things and you just experiment, and and it is trial and error, and it is messy, and it's very sticky, I have discovered, I think I said, but it's just it's fun to try new things, and I love the effect where you can embed things in crystal clear resin, so you can sort of look in and it's like peering down into a bubble bath, funnily enough. So, and I'm using little glass spheres instead of proper bubbles, which I used before. I would mix up a little pot with like washing up liquid and whip it up into a frenzy with lots of bubbles, use a syringe, wheek up some bubbles into the syringe, attach them, or attach them, that's not the right word, sort of feed it onto the top of the jelly resin. And actually, I do think the jelly resin works really well, actually, but it works best in combination with glass spheres rather than real bubbles, or have a few real bubbles, but have lots of glass spheres too, because then the bubbles never burst because they're glass. It's great. So, yes, yeah, so what I might have to do if I'm going to make more of the bubble baths, and I need to get more baths. I've only got like two little metal baths left. I have made a couple of experiments, which will be part of the March nursery scene for the Squeak Show calendar. I'm hoping that I'll be able to shoehorn them in there if I can. But yeah, so I might be able to sort of use the fast cure stuff, but do layers. So sort of do 1 centimetre, let it dry. It'll take 12 hours to dry or something to cure, not to dry. And then, another layer and another layer until it's done. That I think might be the way to go, and probably was the way I should have done it instead of. I took them home with me last night. These bubble baths, and it's very liquid. It's very viscous to be no liquid, not viscous. It's very liquid to begin with. And I was driving home. Have you ever seen the Top Gear episode, which has, one of the presenters is driving along with a plate of eggs on his bonnet so that he doesn't bend and he doesn't sort of go right off centre. That's what I was like with these blinking resin bubble baths, so that the resin didn't fall over, didn't slop out, all the rest of it. Thankfully, this morning the resin was viscous enough. Now we'll use the correct and slowing down, so it wasn't going to sort of slop out of the bath as I drove back in. But I realise, yeah, I'm an instant gratificationist. I want to do things like now. I don't really like waiting very much. And this is why polymer clay is such a perfect medium for me, because I can come up with a new design, I can try it out, I can cure it, and then it's made on the same day. I rather like that. That works for me. Instant gratificationist rather than a delayed gratificationist, which I think anybody who works with resin must be. I actually watched a few. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm not sure whether I'm still getting comments. Anyway, oh, Tara's on the call. Hello, Tara. Tara, right. So, Tara is of the lesser spotted kiwi. Tara did the It's Three Things in Life design, which is wonderful. You have sent me an email. I'm sorry, I've read it, but I've just not replied yet. But she's going to be doing a sale, just a short sale. I'll need to look at all the details, but of the special edition, the sign print with a little Easter chick magnet and, all the extra bits and pieces and the little bunting stand and gorgeousness. So I will announce that tomorrow once I've actually properly sat down and read the email. But that's something to be looking forward to. If you haven't yet got your special edition, It's Three Things in Life, now's your chance, because they are gorgeous and they sum up queerness so well for me. And Tara's other work, you need to go and have a look at her shop, because her the watercolors, and you're into lino prints now and all the rest of it. So yes, it's just it's fabulous. Just go on Tara's shop, and I'll announce the sale for the special edition as well. And yes, other people have now chimed in, and I can see my comments. I still can't see them on my laptop. Anyway, so we have Tabitha, you use resin. Did I know this? Yes, well, I know that Carmen uses resin, and I presume actually now, coming to think about it, joining the dots, then that must mean that you use it too, because it's not the sort of thing you want to use unsupervised. And I'm speaking to myself here because I've been using it unsupervised without much guidance and the occasional YouTube tutorial. That's how I've been getting on with it. So Tabitha, you do as well. Emma Bennett's on the call. Hello, Emma. I've just been packing your mice, so they'll be coming out. Say hello to your grandma for me as well. And Tara, you and I have just seen your comment about using the fast cure and build the depth of layers. Absolutely. You'll just have to trust me when I say I hadn't actually read your comment when I was just saying that I was going to do that. Trial and error. I just worked it out that would be a better way of doing it. And it really would be a better way of doing it. So I'll try it again anyway, but it'll work. And yes, nail polish remover. I've got some at home, so thank you, Tabitha. I will definitely have a good go and yeah, de-stick, de-stick everything. It gets everywhere, and it's supposed to be a great allergenic or something. It's supposed to be like really not good for you, but I didn't have any gloves. Don't do this at home, kids. You know, always wear gloves when you're working with polymer clear. Do as I say, don't do as I do. I think that's all I can say. Anyway, so how are you all? Are you enjoying spring? It's just, well, it's been a beautiful day today. Not that I've been outside in it, I've just been inside packing parcels all day, but I've been able to look outside and see how gorgeous the weather's been. So I hope that you have all been enjoying it, and it really is just my absolute favourite time of year. And those tulip mice, can I just say, the wee creatures, I never stop falling in love with them. I know that sounds soppy and whatnot, but I really, you know, they just look up at you, and particularly with the little bunch of flowers, it's just like, oh, that's so nice. Anyway, so thank you very much to everybody who adopted one on Sunday, and I've got everybody's lists of requests for earlier on in the week. Can't remember when I did that. Monday, possibly Tuesday. Can't remember what day is today. I don't know. Wednesday, Sunday. I don't know. The days kind of blend into one. It's lovely, but yes, it's oh, and Tabitha has come up with another handy hint. I use my you use it on your cork boards. Of course, actually, does that stop the nails going in, or is that a good sealant? I suppose it's a good sealant for the cork. It stops it disintegrating or rotting or falling apart, because cork has a tendency to do that. Anyway, oh gosh, Squirrel Moments. Have you seen the film Up? It's just such a beautiful film. It's a Pixar film with Fred and uh, can't remember her name. Anyway, it might not even be Fred. I've just realised. Anyway, Squirrel Moment. That's what I most like about that film. It's when the dog, can't remember the name of the dog. Don't come to me for names. But he's got a cone on and he's looking up and he can speak and he goes squirrel, and then does that, and that's kind of who I am. I am in fact a squirrel at heart. And actually, my cupboards would, well, the all the drawers here would tend to speak to that as well. So, well, now that I can actually read comments on my phone, anyway, what happened at the start of this? Because did it start one at all, or is this the only live video that there is? I don't know. It's just all been uh, all a bit confusing. Anyway, and I'm not sure. Yes, I was going to give you a bit of a sneaky heads up for the April mice, because yeah, this is can't remember whether I said this at the start of this or at the start of the other video, which didn't work, and it suddenly went, you're not going to be able to work this. You can't do it. We're not posting comments, etc. And but basically, yeah, if you want a year to go by quickly, do a year project where you have to do something every month, because it's just mad how quickly the time's going. But I quite like this, doing the mice in quarters, sending them off every quarter rather than doing them every month. Now, I know some people have been wanting to have the mice every month because you can't wait, and I totally get that. But it's also quite fun, I think, just to get the three of them in once, and then it sort of starts the next quarter, the next giggle of mice. And so, because April is Easter month this year, it will have an Easter theme, you may not be surprised to know. And yes, it will involve, it's a show and tell. Do you see these? Tiny, tiny little baskets, little woven wicker baskets. Now, you might be wondering what I'm going to do with the baskets. Well, that you'll have to find out. There will be eggs involved, so, you know, and there will be a mouse involved. That's it. That's your only hint. But let's just say that the April mice, and I will document this at somewhere, sometime, probably in the newsletter coming out, the Easter mice, as Jacqueline and Tabitha can well testify, the Easter mice have had a more challenging birthing process than they usually do. It's been bizarre. It's been really bizarre. But but I think, yes, happy with the design that has happened, and I will show you the various iterations that the April mice have gone through to get to where they are. And then it's May, and then it's my birthday, and I'm 25 again. How wonderful is that? So the May mice will be celebrating that. The Squeak Show mice will be celebrating that, and then June. I can't wait for June. This is why the year's going by so quickly, because I just can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. So the June mice are just going to be so cool, and I can't tell you any more than that. Other than you're gonna love them. I'd love to give you a sneaky peek, but I can't. I've got to sit in my hands. See, instant gratification is at work, right in front of your eyes. This is me. I'm like, no, I've got to show you. I've got to show you. It's like it's Enrique's birthday in April. He is, in fact, exactly 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, and 1 hour older than me, which is like, woo-hoo. If you're into like the numerology, the 1111, it's good. It's a good message to have. Whether it means anything or not, I don't know, but certainly we get on very well, and that would explain it. So anyway, it's his birthday in April, and he's been eyeing up. I don't know whether you've ever come across these mechanical typewriters, the Quirky writers. And there've been knockoffs made and all the rest of it, but the original one is very much like an original, old-fashioned vintage. Well, they're vintage. I learnt to type on an original typewriter, but one of the ones is metal casing, keys which are quite hard to hit, and all the rest of it. So this Quirky writer, worth looking up. You can only buy them in America, as I found out. But it's a keyboard, so it works with Bluetooth and all the rest of it, but it looks like an old-fashioned typewriter, but it's much easier to type, and you do not skin your cuticles when you get it wrong, which is one of the reasons I think why I am a good touch typist, because I learned kind of going, I can't get it wrong or else I'm going to skin my fingers. Those of you of a certain age will understand that and will feel my pain. And this is when I was 16, 15, 16. That's how I learned how to type. At school, as a 16-year-old, I was learning to type on a... I only learned the home keys, and then I taught myself the rest of them. But there you go. That's before I left school when I was still 16. Went back to school 2 years later, did all the erudite stuff. But... So he's been sort of like eyeing them up, and he really likes the old-fashioned typewriter because he was taught on one as well, and his mum encouraged him to learn how to type, which was a very good thing, and he very much appreciates it now. So, oh right, I'm sorry, I'm just catching up. See, squirrel. But it's your comments that are squirreling me, so can you forgive me? Okay, let's have a quick look through. Yeah, because of course it's just the comments aren't coming through in real time either. Ah, yes. Oh, here we go. The names of how many squirrel moments back was this? So Carl, what did I say? I can't even remember what I said, but it was wrong, wasn't it? So Carl and Ellie and Doug, Doug the Doug. Brilliant, excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, and yes, right, and cute little baskets, Alison, they really are, and you should see what I'm going to be doing with them. In fact, I'm going to give you a little sneaky peek of something that won't be the April mice, and I'm coming back onto the Quirky writers because Kirsty, I just see that you've said that your other half has just shipped one from America. They are super. Okay, let's just finish this. Let's finish the Quirky writer story, because anyway, so I ordered him one night. It was and I got him a black one. I think that's the only one that they ship out in UK style, although they do come in lovely colours. So if you're in America, go check out the Quirky writer and get mint and white and pink ones and rose gold and all sorts of lovely colours. Anyway, so it came through really, really quickly. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not pocket money. That's all I'll say. But it's worth every penny. And yeah, he loves it, absolutely loves it. And yes, he says he feels very important as he's typing on it, and it's made him much more careful. Maybe the throwback, maybe the trauma of the skin fingers. It's entirely possible. So anyway, I could not wait to get... This is the whole point of the story. I couldn't wait until his birthday to give it to him. I thought, well, if we've gone to all this effort and if we've carted it halfway around the world, he's going to bloody well get the use of it now, pardon my French, or, so he's been using it, and we will put it back in its box for his birthday. I know this is a bit silly, but we'll put it back in its box for his birthday and wrap it up, and then he'll open it again properly, and then he'll be able to use it. So he's just breaking it in. We had to open it up, obviously, to check and make sure that everything was working correctly, and it does, and it feels lovely. It's super. Couldn't really justify having one for my workshop, but that's okay. I'm glad he's happy. So I couldn't wait to give it to him. Instant gratificationist once again. Here we go. Now, whilst I remember, so yes, Jacqueline, she says, with learning to type with a sheet of paper over your hands so you couldn't see the keys. It was a tea towel for me. We had tea towels draped over our hands. It was, and also, gosh, I'm keeping an eye on the time as well, because I remember when I was learning to type, there was a PC game. It started off in the arcade game, if you remember this, back from the 90s. It was called the House of the Dead, I think it was, where you just go around shooting zombies, as you do. Anyway, there was a PC program called Typing of the Dead. And basically you had to touch type, and if you got it correct, you shot zombies, and if you got it wrong, the zombies got you. I was an incredibly good typist by the end of that, I tell you. I mean, I was, like in my teens at this point, so I can hopefully be forgiven, or maybe early 20s. Anyway, but Typing of the Dead, look it up, and if you're ever needing to learn how to type better, use that, because oh my goodness, you will, particularly if you're typing in a dark room, no lights on, and it's got to be done sometimes. Anyway, so before I finish up for tonight, sorry, my glasses keep falling off because it's spring, it's warm. Tara's just turned off the heating in her workshop. It's brilliant. I'm going to have to start putting the air conditioning on now. Can I just boast again that I've got air conditioning in my unit? It's so cool. But it is actually so cool. Anyway, right. Do you know, when I saw these little baskets, back to the baskets, I'm back there now. I should learn how to bookmark my conversations, actually. I'm in love with my Kindle as well. Love my Kindle. I never use the bookmarks, but I should do, and I would like to actually bookmark my conversations so I can actually work out what I've said and go back to them. But the Easter baskets now. So the Easter mice are doing something with baskets and eggs, which actually I've probably just told you exactly what it is, but I can't, there's only so many things that mice could do with baskets and eggs. So you'll see the finished one when they come out. But I'm also doing with baskets because it's Easter and it's been a while since I've done Easter chicks, or any kind of chicks really. So, you ready for this? Look at this. It is, now I don't know whether you'll be able to see that in focus or not, but it is a little Easter chick in a basket. Yay! Now, these are just cute little things that will go into my shop at some point through Easter, along with other Easter creatures when I get round to making them. But yeah, little Easter chicks in a basket. Just ridiculously cute. Really, really very cute. And of course I'm going to have to do the pastel range, back into the rainbow colours again. I think I always will. I think it's just going to be one of those things. Probably need to be rehabbed as a rainbow lover at some point. Rainbows are fab. And there's something so nice when you see a line of mice holding rainbow things all in their rainbow colours. But anyway, but Easter chicks in baskets in pastel colours, pastel rainbow colours. How cool is that going to be? And there will be bunnies, and it's just, April's going to be a really good month. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm singing as well. I'm singing at 2 Easter services on next Thursday and on Saturday as well. There's only going to be 4 of us singing. The church is open, as they're allowed to be, but the congregation still can't sing. So we're providing the music, so that's going to be fun too. So really, April, good month. March has been brilliant as well. February's been excellent, and so is January. In fact, it's all good. Can I suggest, hopefully I've said this at the start of this video and not the one which didn't go anywhere, but do have a look through the photos in the QA group. because it's so nice. You'll see some that you've posted maybe, and you'll see lots of ones that folk have shared, like here's a cute otter, lots and lots of cute otters, but it's just lovely. It's lovely to see. So thank you all for being there and being so wonderful and being so lovely and just making the Quernaholics Anonymous group the wonderful group that it is. And thanks again to Vicky for all your hard work in the Creatures on the Move group. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a separate group which I don't have anything to do with, but sometimes the wee creatures need to move on and everything happens for a reason. There's nothing, there's no problem with this. It's wonderful. You know, they know where they can help out. They know where they're meant to be, and this is a good place to, you know, if you're wanting to rehome a creature, that's the place to go. So thank you again, Sarah, for your help with that. Now going forward, and thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I'm sorry again for the little technical gremlins. That just seems to be the thing which happens with me. But it's lovely just to chat at you. The next one will probably be a demonstration. That's another thing that I'd started saying. So actually now I'm coming back and completing the arc and finishing off that thought that I'd started, you know, at the start of the call. Yes, it's really nice being able to do a chat, one chat for the Brew and the Blether, and then a demonstration, the other one, and then back to a chat, etc., etc. It's fun. Works for me. Hope it works for you, or otherwise I'll just be sitting here chatting into oblivion. But that's okay, because that's fun to do too. And I haven't even touched my cup of tea yet. Full of tea from Scotland, Scottish blend. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sending me those tea bags. They are delicious. But now I have to drink a pint of tea because I haven't even touched it. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Right. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are. I think most of you are here in the evening. So thanks for your patience. Thanks for being there. Thanks for being so lovely. And I shall see you tomorrow at some point, I would imagine.